Okay, thank you. I wanted to go to the investigation of Domino's. How long has the investigation been going for, and how many raids has there been since you last gave evidence on this, please?
Senator, I'll ask Mr Campbell to address the detail of your question. We became aware of concerns with respect to the Domino's network not long, I think, before the last Senate estimates. We answered a number of questions on notice there, and since then our activities have continued and indeed increased.
Senator, we currently have 26 active investigations involving Domino's outlets. I think that's an increase in about 10 since the last time we appeared before you, but I can confirm that for you.
And how many raids has there been?
Each of those investigations will involve a store visit or a site visit.
Right.
If you class them as raids, I suppose, all of them.
And how many times have you gone to each? You've gone to 26. How many times to each?
I couldn't answer that question, Senator.
Can you take it on notice, please? How much of the Ombudsman's time and resources are allocated to this investigation, please?
Oh, it's a very important piece of work for us, Senator, so we're attaching significant quality resources to it.
What does significant mean? 50%, more than 50% bulk of your time?
Senator, we're an organisation of 820. I don't have 50% of my staff involved in this, but I'd say that there'd probably be 10 people involved in these Domino's activities at any given time, probably more if we're doing, and we have unannounced visits simultaneously up and down the East Coast. That calls on more resources at any given time.
How many of those 10 staff, are they working full-time or part-time on this?
We might have a couple of staff full-time on these matters, but they carry a workload.
Sorry, they carry a workload?
So they have a range of different compliance teams, and compliance officers have a range of different matters that they're responsible for at any given time. So you're not working full-time on any investigation.
Are you investigating Premier, the largest franchise in New South Wales?
I'm pretty confident we took that on notice at the last appearance and confirmed that we were.
So that's a yes, you're confirming?
Yeah.
So I understand that Premier is close to the CEO, Dan Meege, and regularly is known where one of the complaints we've been getting underpays his workers. So have you identified how many outlets Premier has?
We're familiar with his operation and the scale of his operation, how many stores he operates, yes.
So how many stores does he have?
It's certainly more than 10, I'm pretty sure, Senator. I don't have the details to hand, but he's
So more than 10?
That's my belief. Okay,
can you take it on notice and supply it, please?
Yeah, I will if it's appropriate to do so.
So I'll go back to that. I come from New South Wales, where if you didn't get a clear answer on questions on notice, they would slip out of it. So has that question been taken on notice?
Senator, I suppose one of the overlays of our work is that we can only disclose so much about ongoing investigations for fear of compromising them. So if we identify a target, explain how large his operation is, and then identify that we're involved or interested in all their stores, then we kind of give the game away just a little. So I've probably gone as far as I want to in this space, but if it's appropriate to release more information about what we know of this operation, then I will. I suppose that's what I'm trying to say to you politely.
Okay, I'll look forward to the answer. Have you contacted any former workers about Premier?
I believe so, Senator. It would be strange if we hadn't have contacted individuals as part of these investigations.
Can you take that on notice, please, so you can confirm it, so it's not just a belief?
Yes.
Have you asked Domino's how many franchises lose money each year?
No.
Why not?
It's not of interest to us.
Why isn't that relevant to understanding how the operations work?
They have an obligation to pay their workforce irrespective of their profit margin. So it's an interesting piece of information. It may go to a decision about enforcement outcomes or something they might want to put before a judge at some point as a mitigating circumstance. But in terms of our interest in determining whether or not there's been an underpayment, it's not a feature of, it's not a consideration for us.
Well, do you know anything, or have you any information how many make less than 60,000 in earnings before interest and taxes each year?
No.
I mean, considering so many of the franchises are saying the model is flawed and they can't make money, I can't understand why those two questions aren't relevant to your inquiry.
Senator, we are conscious always of the surrounding circumstances that might impact on non-compliance going on in any system or network. So when we carried out our 7-Eleven inquiry, for example, we did look to the franchising model, and so we're conscious of that. But when we have allegations of underpayment, our primary focus and our primary functions go to assessing whether or not people are being paid correctly and then seeking appropriate rectification for that. So it would be to be expected at this stage of the matter, when we're focused on individual complaints and stores, that we would be looking to find out what people have been paid and whether they've been paid correctly. And so, you know, we are actively pursuing those matters. At a certain point, we might step back and say, well, what's going on in this network and what are the drivers of non-compliance? And if we got to the point of, for example, discussing an enforceable undertaking with Domino's because we thought they were materially involved in breaches of the Act, well, we might talk then about steps Domino's might take to stop any systemic non-compliance going on in their network. But to start with, we need to assess what's gone on with what people are being paid. And so we're very focused on getting that information, and it's not always straightforward. Records are not always what we would prefer them to be. Employees don't always have their own records, and so we're at a very basic level of our inquiries at the moment, and we're focused on assessing what people have been paid and whether they've been paid correctly. We'll come to the reasons and the broader environment at the appropriate point.
Ms James, you used the term paid correctly. How can you divorce that? And if you want these people to be paid correctly, and we're talking about thousands of workers, who are doing it tough, they haven't been paid properly. You're talking about doing the right thing by them in this bubble of paid correctly without ensuring that immediately surrounding that bubble, the system that they're in, can pay them correctly.
Look, Senator, I agree with you that if you're actually looking to long-term solutions, we cannot divorce ourselves from this broader environment. That's why we've taken the sort of approach we have with 7-Eleven and Baiada, where we've gone to the top. But right now we're just trying to assess what has gone on, and you're asserting, and we've read allegations in the paper about widespread underpayment. We are at the moment in a very forensic way, and using the evidence gathering powers currently available to us under the Act, we are seeking to assess precisely what's gone on. We will get to, subject to what those initial inquiries expose, we will get to the question of solutions, and particularly with Domino's itself, but remembering that at law, the employer of these workers is not Domino's head office, it's the particular franchisor that you've referred to, and other franchisors, and that's where the legal obligations currently lie under the current
And how they get
Act.
away with it. So the thousands of workers, do you know if they're being compensated and how they're being compensated?
Senator, we are aware of assertions by Domino's of workers being compensated. We are yet to satisfy ourselves as to exactly the nature of any underpayments in the Domino's network. We are yet to satisfy ourselves of the nature of any remedial action Domino's might have taken, and we are in the process of trying to assess these matters through discussions with and using our formal evidence gathering powers with respect to Domino's and some of its franchisees.
And
Thank
with
you,
respect,
Senator Rhiannon, we are over time.
and then I'm finished. Can I have one more question? Then I'm finished with Domino's, please.
Okay.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. So, you ended up about the franchisees. With regard to Premier, is that one of them that you understand that the compensation has been given and the workers are being paid properly?
I don't think we're
We don't have
familiar
that
with that level of
Why is
detail
that,
yet.
it's not complete, or you don't want to release it? What's the
We
situation?
are yet to secure information that would enable me to answer that question to my knowledge. This is a live investigation, Senator, so we may have procured more documents at this stage, but when we most recently discussed this, which was only a week or two ago, we were still waiting for documents that we have asked for to be provided to us.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.